It is early in the month of April, but we are losing the sub battle right now against Eagles Now. That I don't think should ever really happen. So help us out. Hit that sub button for more free Cowboys YouTube videos. You'll get at least one a day. In fact, you'll get two today. One later this afternoon, a 7-round Cowboys mock draft. So sub so you don't miss out. We begin with the report claim, whatever you want to call it, from 105 The Fan that says Micah Parsons, his behavior is wearing thin at the star and for the Cowboys. Here was the report from Shariff saying, quote, I've heard way too many people this offseason. I'm talking about at least 4 different people have told me that Micah has worn thin there. I don't know how much is true and how much actually hurts his reputation. I don't know whether this is behavior of a typical superstar. I don't know how damaging it is. But all I do know is this. I've heard from way too many people that if Micah Parsons was out of there, there would be a decent amount of people inside the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco smiling or breathing a sigh of relief. Here we go again, right? How many times have we seen this over the last many of the years? It's contract time. And negative story emerges. And why is it only during contract time, by the way? I am not here to start fights or take shots or anything. I want to make that clear. I do have some issues with this claim. The biggest one is this for me, and this kind of goes into more of the reporting angle and less of the propaganda smearing campaign argument, which we'll get to in a little bit too. Is this people who are upset with Micah's behavior, whatever the behavior is, by the way, wasn't actually specified, is this Cowboys people? Is this the coaching staff? Is this the front office? Or is this Cowboys adjacent? Is this like the social media team? Not specifying that just as an example. Or is it actually people in the building specific football people? Or is it like just Cowboys adjacent people? Because I do think that matters. And I kind of wonder if the behavior of that's kind of like the latter side. Is Micah just arrogant? Or is it just he's annoying? What actually is it? It's very vague. Not actually specifying anything either. Although, and by the way, it's actually mentioned the Cowboys as part of it. It was inside the Star. So again, is it the Cowboys specifically? Is the DC mad at him? Or I guess the old DC mad at him? Or what's actually going on there? By the way, Des Bryant straight up called it a smear campaign. And this is another issue I have here. The Cowboys can't beat these allegations. These allegations have been there for a very long time that, players due for a new contract. We gotta smear the guy and then try to bring down the cost in the process. These allegations have been out there for a very long time, and it is suspicious when you don't hear a peep about Micah, not being worth it for 2 years, and then cut it. Okay, now we have the conversations right at contract time. Why is that? Why? So we'll go more in depth on this here in a little bit. But do you want to pay Micah Parsons? Y for yes, N for no. It is the pinned comment on today's show, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Y or N. Now, when we put the short out on Saturday or Friday, whatever day it was, again, it's drafting and the days all blur together for me. And when we talked about it on social media too, a lot of responses were, well, he hasn't done anything in the postseason. Which, okay, I think in general, every single player and coach and front office member deserves more criticism and criticism in general for the playoff performances. But that isn't what the report was. So we kind of start to conflate two different things of personality. Which, by the way, for the record, I wish Micah wouldn't do the podcast during the season. I think it can be a distraction. There are times I wish he wasn't so chronically online. As someone who was also chronically online, yes, I do understand the double standard there, sure. But you've got sacks in their first 3 years, right? It's Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney, Micah Parsons. All he did was on a Hall of Fame track before he couldn't keep his head, clean and getting into issues off the field, legal ones. Derek Thomas, Hall of Famer. Reggie White, Hall of Famer. That's special talent. All of these highest paid edges here. I don't see those names on that list. It's going to be a Nick Bosa-esque contract. That's fine. That's how it works. You can, by the way, if I don't want to hear this, oh, salary cap. No, stop lying to us. The Cowboys can very easily afford to pay Micah Parsons if they want to. All this drama over the 2025 salary cap, you know that they could, pay Dak whatever he wanted. They could franchise tag CeeDee Lamb and not pay Micah, which pay him actually bring down his cap hit for 2025. And you're still staring at the barrel of conservative estimate of $40 million in 2025. So miss me with the BS there from the Cowboys front office. So there's a couple ways to look at this report, right? Is this the smear campaign like Dez and Trayvon Diggs kind of alluded to as well, trying to save them money? Is it just kind of some bad rumor reporting, which, to be blunt, it's the same station that said Dak might never play again. Different reporter, make no mistake about it, but it's not batting 100%. And if we want to go to the, as my buddy Landon McCool pointed out, if we're going to go to the who benefits more, we're talking about one of the fan today, which we don't normally do. Or maybe it's all just true. Or maybe it's some combination of them all in the middle. I think you guys can make the determination there for yourselves. Now, today's show is made possible by Gametime. Gametime is the place for last-minute tickets to your next big event, whether that is concert, comedy, or, of course, sporting events as well. By the way, you've got some Rangers games coming up, and because some of these teams are not very good they're playing, you can get pretty darn cheap tickets in the process. I'm a big fan, when I can find it, of the zone deals for Gametime. It's like this one right here. You pick the section, and Gametime picks the seats for big-time saving in the process because seat 7, seat 13, who cares which one you are in. Gametime has deals and tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying tickets, especially when you're doing it at the last minute. So download the Gametime app, create your account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $28 off your first purchase. That's code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Terms do apply, but create your account and redeem that code today. The link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Gametime.co, promo code CHATSPORTS. We've got another wild and wacky rumor. Craig Carton has claimed that there's smoke out there that Dallas could trade Dak Prescott to the Raiders. Now, I do not listen to Craig Carton because he's bad, but this had been sent to me by multiple people, so I figured it's worth going into here. Here's what Craig had reported on his show. Well, there's smoke in the air out of Dallas. There are starting to be rumors down there on Dallas Sports Talk Radio that Dak Prescott's going to be traded. And the storyline, I want to be clear, it's unconfirmed. There are talks that the Dallas Cowboys and Las Vegas Raiders have had some conversations with the Raiders that send 4 picks and maybe Gardner Minshew to Dallas to get the expiring contract of Dak Prescott. Now, before we get into this, Craig Carton sucks. He's bad. He's the same guy who said Jerry Jones was going to sell the Dallas Cowboys. Not credible. And in particular in this case, it's all made up. The Dallas Sports Talk radio stations that have been discussing this and Gardner Minshew and draft picks hasn't been a thing. As you guys all listen to, it was not out there. It's not mentioned. So where did this really come from? The closest example is a USA Today mock draft from my buddy Katie Drummond, which we'll go into, which even isn't quite one-to-one for what Craig Carton had been talking about. And by the way, the whole Minshew angle is also not accurate at all. It was frankly very confusing because the math was not mathing and the Raiders would be paying more money. It didn't make any sense at all. So we'll talk about Dak as well here. Do you want him as your quarterback for this upcoming season? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Sound off for me in the comments section right now. So the closest I can find is this from the USA, from Katie Drummond. Now, what Katie was doing here was he was using the PFF mock draft simulator, which I do love the prevalence of mock draft sims. If I may be so bold, sometimes the trades are bad, and you can abuse the system. This was the trade package that Katie was able to pull out off using the PFF sim. Aiden O'Connell, a first this year, a first next year, a second this year, a second in 2026, a third next year, and a fourth this year. So 6 picks and a backup quarterback exchanged for Dak Prescott. So to be clear, framing what I think this as the original story is as smoke and like, oh, it's being discussed that it's a possibility, it's disingenuous at best and frankly more likely outright deceptive. I think there actually is plenty of value, especially at a local level, in talking about these things, in exploring all these different avenues and options and conversations, because that's also what good franchises do. And mock drafts in particular are about exploring options. We're doing a mock draft later today in which I don't go offensive line on round 1 to see how that could play out for you in the draft. But spinning this, trade idea into, hey, news, there's conversations happening, I don't like that at all. By the way, that trade, you're not getting that from Vegas. It's not happening. I think Dak's too smart and his agent's too smart to go, yes, let's make this new team we're going to give up 2.5 drafts or maybe just 2 drafts to, make this trade happen. I think that they know they can just wait if that's the route they really want to go. Frankly, I would do that trade very quickly. If you want to talk about a plan to rebuild, there you go. That's a great idea. I don't find it believable at all. So, L for Craig Carton for spinning up random Raiders Dak Prescott stuff.